Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rankum. It's going to be a fun one today. We're going to be talking about Christmas movies. And yes, this is the Redux from one of the really early episodes. Like it was back in 2016 when we last did Christmas movies. But yeah, but we've got a great panel here. We've got Chris Diaz here. Chris, how's it going?
Happy holiday, all. Merry Christmas, all. Happy here to talk about some of my favorite Christmas movies.
We've also got Kevin Posse. Kevin, how's it going?
Ho ho ho, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone out there. I will go ahead and do the famed Kevin joke, so nobody else has to do it. And yeah, I love the holidays. I love holiday movies. I will watch them any time of the year. So yeah, it's an exciting time of the year, and I love um, browsing over these movies and recapping. So thank you for inviting me.
We've also got Jacob Barber here. Jacob, how's it going?
Bah humbug. No, I'm kidding. I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk some Christmas movies. And yeah, I'm just curious to see what makes the list and how we all feel about Die Hard.
And
Best movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
Well, don't wait. Wait till it gets brought up.
And last but not least, we've got Brian. Brian, how's it going?
Physical, let me say best movies, and I believe this is the third Redux I've been part of, which I do enjoy these Reduxes.
But with that, before we get started, I'm going to sort of recap what the list was when we last did this. At number 12, it was Lethal Weapon. At 11, we've got It was Die Hard. At 10 was White Christmas. 9 was Love Actually. 8 was Elf. Miracle on 34th Street, the original one, was number 7. Home Alone was 6. A Christmas Story was 5. The Santa Claus was 4. The Grinch 2000 was 3. Christmas Vacation was 2. And It's Wonderful Life was number 1. But that, Chris, we're going to go to you first. What is the first movie you're going to bring up?
You know, I'm going to change it for normal here. I'm going to bring up probably one of my favorite movies like I'm going to bring up Klaus. Netflix Klaus. I think this is one of the most delightful Christmas movies ever. I'm happy Anthony did that. Christina recommended to me. I thought it was heartwarming. I thought it was great take on the origin of Santa Claus with very clever little joke here and there with the reindeer doing John Chimney. And that whole reveal about why he made the choice, I thought was one of the more heartbreaking things at the animated movie lately. Like the fact that they made the choice because he could have had children, him and his wife. I thought was really emotional for me. And the end, it gets me. They get them in my top 5 favorite interpretation of Santa Claus. So yeah, Klaus, get my vote here.
Kevin, what do you say about Klaus?
Klaus. Klaus is one of my favorites. I watch it every year. I turn my wife onto it, and she's not even that big of I would say an animated watcher. So yeah, this is definitely on the list for me, for sure.
Jacob, what do you say about Klaus?
It's gonna get a yes from me. I think Klaus is a great movie. Yeah, the voice performances, the origin story of Santa Claus that I didn't know I wanted, but we got it, and it was great. I think it was really well done. I think the animation is solid, and I think it's one of the better movies that Netflix has put out in the last few years. I think it's really good. It's been added to my Christmas viewing every year, and yeah, I think it's a delightful movie. So it's gonna get a yes.
Brian, what do you say about Klaus?
Yeah, I'm going for Jacob Barber. I haven't seen this one. It's a blind spot for me, so I'll abstain.
It's not a Jacob Barber because I have seen this one, so it's a bad time to pull that out.
But yeah, I love Klaus. Klaus is great. It's one of those movies that when it was released, like It took me a while to actually get around to actually watching it, just because I just shrugged it off. But I think it was also Christina and Tony Hill that kind of put me onto this as well. But yeah, it's great. So it's going to be yes, Klaus makes the list. Kevin, we go to you for your first nomination.
I will go from animation to comedy. I'm going to go with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This is another like annual watch for me. Chevy Chase, amongst others. They're just there are so many quotable lines in this I can't even begin to start. And it's just along with all the other National Lampoons, it fits perfectly in. And I think this is one of Chevy's best performances.
Jacob, what do you say about Christmas Vacation?
Now, I know I'm in the minority on this one, but I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas Vacation. I think there's some moments of humor, but maybe it's just because I watched it super late. Like I just watched it for the first time like 2 years ago. Maybe not having seen the other vacation movies, maybe that has something to do with it. But I watched it and I was like, oh, that was fine. Like I didn't hate it, but I wasn't like blown away. I didn't find like a super amount of humor. There are some moments that, yeah, like Kevin said, there are some quotable lines. I will give it that, and I understand why people like it and people love it, and it's a yearly watch for them. But for me, like I don't know, maybe I just need a rewatch. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't hate the movie. There were moments of it that I liked, but I'm just not over the moon about it like others. With that said, like it's still like for me, it's like a top 20 Christmas movie. I did like it enough, but like it's just not there for me yet. But again, I've only seen it the one time, so maybe on rewatch, maybe I'll love it like other people do.
Brian, what do you say about Christmas Vacation?
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Yes, for me, I love those side characters. Bessie, and Uncle Lewis are great. You also have Fire Clark, those are Chris Lights. It's Rusty Still Davy, some great lines there, and it's a Christmas classic. So yes.
Yeah, just like Jacob, actually, I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas Vacation. Like, I do like it. I do think it's a good movie. But it's not one that actually go back to every year. But I like it enough to still say yes to it. Chris, what do you say about Christmas Vacation?
So this is a movie I've seen bits and pieces of, but not all the way through. I did see a good amount of it this past week because I ran at my relative house. They had it on. It's funny. I didn't watch it the whole way through, but I get yet for me from what I've seen so far. The moment that made me laugh from on TV.
That Christmas Vacation is still going to make the list. And Jacob, we go to you first for your first nomination.
All right. Can you guys hear me? You said something was wrong with my mic. Okay, perfect. I'll do it. I'll bring it up. I'll go Die Hard, and see what the panel thinks. I think Die Hard is a great action Christmas movie. John McClane coming back to see his wife and kids on Christmas, and then turns out Severus Snape wants to take over the building instead. Hans Gruber, played, I think, perfectly by Alan Rickman. I think Alan Rickman does an incredible job here as the villain. And you talk about quotable lines. I think there's a few in here. I think the action is solid, and that Christmas setting, I think it works perfectly. I think I don't know that John McClane is coming back for any reason other than to spend Christmas with his family. I think Christmas plays an important part in the movie, so I consider it a Christmas movie. It's one of my favorites. If you say it's not, like, I completely understand your reasoning. I'm not gonna sit here and argue and say you're wrong. I'm gonna put that out there. I'm just one that thinks it is a Christmas movie. It's part of my yearly Christmas viewing, and that's going to be my next nomination, or my first nomination.
Brian, what do you say about Die Hard?
Yeah, for me, I was thinking it's not a regular Christmas movie. It's a good, actually be a good Christmas Jason movie, but it's a classic, so I'll give it a yes.
But yeah, I don't really have much words for this, but my buddy Matt Kearns from the previous episode has good, and I'll do it as a.
What do we celebrate at Christmas? A man born to bare feet to save this world. John McClane, bare feet connection? I think so. Just saying.
Okay.
That's 2 Jesus references in two rounds.
It's
You
a
literally
Christmas
said
The
both.
same action movies. They're both action movies.
I
They're not
absolutely
the
love
same.
his first quote where he's like, Mel Gibson.
And I'll probably play the other one later, but yeah, I like Die Hard. To me, it definitely is a Christmas movie, and like a lot of people will use the argument of the fact that it was released in July against it. There's a movie that everyone considers a Christmas. There's definitely a Christmas movie that was also released in July that I'll mention when it comes up. But Chris, what do you say about Die Hard?
I have a machine gun now. Ho ho ho! Yeah, it Die Hard. I love this movie. This is quintessential. If we count the other movie at Christmas movie, we got to count this. I love Die Hard. This is a perfect example of a great action movie that have yet to be as well done as this was way back then. So yes, for me.
And Kevin, what do you say about Die Hard?
So this has been like a 4-year argument. So the story is on Christmas Eve. It begins on Christmas Eve with the Christmas party involved, Christmas music. Santa Claus makes an appearance, but then there are negatives where like Bruce Willis says it's not a Christmas movie, but yet Steven D'Souza says it is a Christmas movie. So in my opinion, I was always of the opinion Die Hard was not a Christmas movie. I think I have come around and just settled to the fact that it is a Christmas movie, and if I qualify that as a Christmas movie, it's obviously a fantastic movie no matter what. So it has to be in the top 12. So then yes.
With that, Die Hard is going to make the list, and we go to Brian for his first nomination.
I'll go with a film that made the original list, Home Alone. A classic Christmas movie with Macaulay Culkin as Kevin. Great child performance there. John Williams, great score. Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, great chemistry as bubbly villains. As some great humor with the whole trap sequence. So I'll go Home Alone.
Home Alone, I would also like to say, plot is very similar to Die Hard. People break into a play.
It's a film that we never thought would happen.
But yeah, I do like the first Home Alone. I think it's a good movie. But I do prefer 2 others above it. So for that, because it's not my favorite of the Home Alone movies, I'm going to say no. Chris, what do you say about the first Home Alone?
It's hard to say no to the first one, but I like the one other Home Alone movie I like more than this, and I think it catches credit. So I think it's no too.
Kevin, what do you say about the first Home Alone? Kevin?
All right. Holiday Alone. Home Alone. Which one was it? I'm sorry.
The first one.
Just the first one? The first
Yeah.
one. All right. So Home Alone 1 has always been my favorite. I do enjoy, I'll just say, others in the series. I won't bring up which ones those are right now. But the story of Old Man Marley, the story of the man who nobody knows and he ends up being Santa. He flies away at the end. Like, it's just such. Oh, sorry. Never mind. That's a different story. So Home Alone. But it's just it's a great story where the bad guys, like Kevin gets his comeuppance against the bad guys get their comeuppance. So I'm going to say yes to this one.
Jacob, what do you say about the first Home Alone?
I really enjoy the first Home Alone. I think it's a great Christmas movie. I think there's a lot of fun to be had here. What 8-year-old didn't think about staying home alone and what they would do? Eating ice cream for dinner, ice cream for breakfast. The villains are a lot of fun. Some of the traps that he sets. Just a lot of fun. The imagination there. I think it's really fun. And Die Hard Light. Never thought about it that way, but I guess you could. So there's another one in the series that I really like too, and I am definitely not against 2 Home Alone movies being on the list. I think it's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna say yes.
And with that, Home Alone is still going to make the list, and it comes down to me. And I'm going to go for another movie that I watch all the time. Like it's Love Actually. Like Love Actually is one of my go-tos. And hopefully, if I get the chance, I'm going to go and rewatch it on the big screen. This week. But yeah, it's one of those ones that I think just with all the plot lines they're going through, and just with all the characters and that are there, and yeah, it's just one of those ones that I think is good, especially if just Ron Atkinson being the kind of angel type figure, just popping up and getting involved in sort of everyone's stories. Like there's been that long fan through there. He's an angel the whole time, so it's just a lot of fun. But I didn't totally bring it up so I could bring up this because this is one of the biggest discussions we had on the previous one when this came up.
One, Liam Neeson's English, and 2, that Irish and England are in the same area. They're just very close together.
I mean, technically speaking, here that Ireland is part of the United Kingdom.
Is Liam Neeson from Northern Ireland or Ireland?
I think he's from Ireland.
Why are we having
Time to
this
Google it.
discussion?
Because we can.
Because we can, sir.
Anyway, but yeah, Chris, what do you say about Love Actually?
I love Love Actually. This is a film that my ex introduced me to, and I watch every Christmas we have it on TV. Does it have problematic stuff? Yeah, the guy for the Walking Dead thing is a little bit problematic. But yeah, I love this movie. I think it's funny. I think it's sweet. I love the Liam Neeson storyline a lot. I think that's my favorite segment in the whole movie. And I put the kid from Dodger. So yeah, yes for me.
Kevin, what do you say about Love Actually?
Yeah, Love Actually. My wife and I just watched this within the past week. It is another annual watch around Christmas time. I love the way it encompasses a lot of different stories and then kind of brings them all together at the end. The Rowan Atkinson character is fantastic. Funny without being overly funny. But yeah, Chris, like you said, the Liam Neeson character or storyline even is great. With I can't remember the character's name off the top of my head, but anyway, he's from Game of Thrones. Also, yeah, yeah, but that's great. I mean, it's just stories of where there's cheating involved. There's stories where there's it's just it takes you in so many different directions, but it still brings you all together at the end. Yes.
Thomas Brody Sangster is the one you were thinking of from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you. I knew he had 3 names, so I knew I wasn't going to get them all.
But Jacob, what do you say about Love Actually?
I actually have not seen this one yet. I was going to watch it this week, but just didn't get around to it.
And Brian, what do you say about Love Actually?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a slight no. I'm not the biggest fan of it. There's like two big parts of the film I enjoy, which is Bill Nye and Rowan Atkinson. The rest I'm not a big fan of, so I give it a no.
With that, Love Actually is still going to actually make the list. Chris, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
So I don't think I had to make a decision with performer, but I do bring up the quintessential classic Christmas movie, A Wonderful Life. This is something that we watch every year. I do get my mom to finally watch it. She never seen it. It's a depressing movie, a movie about someone who tried to attempt suicide because they did a little bit beautiful movie about him learning that he matters to many people's lives, and the ending itself is one of the best Christmas endings in any movie. At that line, every time Bell rang, the angel go, it rang that to me. So it's wonderful like that, my vote here.
Kevin, what do you say about It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life. That's a fantastic movie. It's a movie I used to watch with my grandparents. It reminds me of my grandfather. He was deaf in one ear, and I just love that movie. And I like to watch it the black and white version. That's just personal preference, but yeah, that is probably way up there on my list. So yeah, definitely for sure, It's a Wonderful Life.
Jacob, what do you say about It's a Wonderful Life?
So this is one that I came to for the first time within the last couple of years as well. And my first time watching it, I kept wondering, when do we get to Christmas? When do we get to Christmas? But Christmas ends up playing, an integral part of the movie. So even though the whole time I was like, this is a Christmas movie, we're like an hour in and there's no Christmas yet. What are we doing? But yeah, like I said, the Christmas portion of the movie is just it's so integral to the plot, and it's just such an important part. And I think the performances are all outstanding. Would I like a little more Christmas in my Christmas movies? Sure, but I'm not going to take away from what an incredible movie this is. So it's still going to get a yes for me.
Brian, what do you say about It's a Wonderful Life?
I'll give it a yes. It's a long yes, but is it worth it? Yes. I'll give it a yes.
Yeah, this is one of the interesting ones because this movie actually bombed at the box office. Like it's one of those ones like you'd think because it's so acclaimed and loved that but yeah, bombed at the box office, but partially because like it got released in January. But it's just one of those weird ones that like when some people tell you, oh yeah, it's a box office bombs, like you like no, you're lying. But that aside, I think the movie's great, and yeah, I really love it. So yeah, it's a yes from me. And It's Wonderful Life is going to make the list, and we go back to Kevin.
All right, I'm gonna go with another Bill Nye film, and go animated with Arthur Christmas. Excuse me. This is one I found within the past several years. It kind of, I just like the different approach they took to this movie. Bringing in technology and, it's a delivery operation fails and a child wakes, and you see kind of the inside workings of what happens when Santa is on his missions, along with his children and the differences between his children's personalities. So also comes with a really happy ending between Arthur and Margaret. So yeah, Arthur Christmas. I'm gonna put that one in.
Jacob, what do you say about After Christmas?
Another one that I wanted to watch but just didn't have time to get to this week, so unfortunately I'm going to have to abstain.
Brian, what do you say about After Christmas?
I actually love this one. This is very underrated. People really don't talk about that much. Very surprising as well. A lot of the relationship between Grand Santa and Arthur in the film. Some great humor in there, and it's a yes.
Yeah, After Christmas is one of those ones that I didn't expect to like. I thought, oh, this is a really random. I was like, there's not just one Santa Claus. There's it's a whole family of Santa Clauses. But can't remember which one is there. But I know but I know one of them is one of those Santas is called Malcolm. So I feel like I'm obliged to say yes to it for that fact. But Chris, what do you say about After Christmas?
I would bring this up, and that time came out with me. I love this movie. This is something I discovered when it came out, and I watch every year. So many funny one-liners that you don't pick up until you rewatch it more often. The World War III jokes make me laugh so hard every time we watch it. And the scene with the polar bear, like every time they go back to the polar bear, almost eating the elf, like little moments like that. And this whole thing that they keep mentioning, and we don't know the whole story of what happened last time something bad happened. They're just so interesting backstory here and there that you want to know more. Yeah, I love this movie. Bill Nye is hysterical at the grand part in the movie. 2 yes for me.
And Malcolm Christmas was voiced by Jim Broadbent. But with that, After Christmas is going to make the list. Jacob, we go back to you.
All right, so I think I'm going to bring up my favorite version of the Christmas Carol, and that is A Muppet Christmas Carol. I think Muppet Christmas Carol is just so much fun. Michael Caine giving an Oscar-worthy performance for no reason whatsoever, acting alongside puppets. This movie is just a lot of fun. I love that Gonzo is narrating the whole thing as Charles Dickens, and yeah, he just you got the Muppeteer. It's a familiar story, but I think it's done in such a fun way here that it's one of the first movies I watch every Christmas season, and yeah, I still can't Michael Caine is giving an Oscar-worthy performance alongside puppets. I mean, I think it deserves to make the list for that reason alone. So that'll be my nomination.
Brian, what to say about the Muppets Christmas Carol?
I'm giving yes. This is the first. I think it's the first film they did after the passing of Jim Henson, which is a good tribute to him. And I agree, Jacob. Michael Caine gave a great performance with the Muppets, and the music is fantastic. So yes.
Yeah, I love the Muppets Christmas Carol. This is currently my favorite version as well. Although another version that I may or not bring up later is getting really up there. But but yeah, this is just Michael Caine just like out acting these Muppets. I think is just really good. Um, but yeah, Roger actually need to be watch it this Christmas. I haven't got around to it yet. But Chris, what do you say about the Muppets Christmas Carol?
Up there, I was struggling between Fever and Christmas Carol that I love. I might be up the other two later that I really love that little bit dog in it. But yeah, for me, I love the music. I love when Love Is Lost. The song that was deleted, then finally put back onto Disney Plus. Thank you, Disney. Like, and it's a great movie. It's a feel good movie, and I love the music. And I be doing a review of it next week on Friday with a new group I am. I'm playing one of these puppets.
And Kevin, what would you have said about the Muppets Christmas Carol?
I would have given this a definite yes. From one Frank Oz character to another, or several others. But yeah, this is always my favorite Christmas Carol version, not only due to Michael Caine's performance, which is unbelievable, but also Kermit the Frog playing Bob Cratchit, I think is just spot on. And it's just, it just brings like a little bit of, light to a dark tale. And then it wraps it all up with a bow at the end. So it's a great story for kids, a great story for adults. I'll give it a yes.
And
Not
if
that
that
it
Muppets
matters.
Christmas and if that Muppets Christmas was going to make the list, and everyone's votes matters, Kevin. But Brian, we go to you for your next nomination.
I brought the first one, so let's bring the second one. Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. My favorite Home Alone series. Even though it's a retread of the first movie, it's bigger and better in New York. You get some support Tim Curry as Mr. Hector. You get Rob Schneider as the Billboy Cedric. And get a cameo by former President Donald J. Trump. So Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is my nomination.
Just had to bring up Trump.
Yeah, so Home Alone 2 is my favorite of the franchise, but this is one of those ones that that I'm probably actually going to say no to, because I kind of said to myself, like, if one movie from this franchise makes it in, I'm probably not going to bring out the other one just because I want to try and get a variety on here. But if it makes the list regardless, I'm not going to be upset, but I'm still going to say no. Chris, what do you say about Home Alone 2?
I love Home Alone 2 just for the one I rather have brought up because it's my favorite Home Alone movie. I love Tim Curry as the head of the hotel. I love his bits. I love the Toy Story scene. I love the Pigeon Lady stuff. I think that where I prefer Home Alone 2. I like that scene with her and Kevin so much more than him and Bob. Like, oh man, like it's a feel good movie, and I love the antics more. Just what gave out one more quotable line, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
The animal and Happy New Year.
The 50th animal and Happy New Year too. Like that scene alone, and Tim Curry like get out of the way, there, crazy person in the room. Like that scene alone is so freaking funny, and have done a read through of that doing that scene is so good. a yes for me. Even if it doesn't make Hannah happy, somebody put out.
Kevin, what do you say about Home Alone 2?
Yeah, this is really tough. I always go back and forth or even equalize 1 and 2. But I will concur with you, Malcolm, that with 1 already on the list, we already have a lot of movies on the list. I do like how 2 brings back the Angels with Even Filthier Souls movie, like all the callbacks. But I would like to see what other movies are put out there, so I'm going to give it a no.
Jacob, you're pretty much decided here, but what do you say about Home Alone 2?
I am, and despite what I said about 20 minutes ago about not caring if 2 Home Alone movies make the list, that was back when Home Alone was only the 4th movie on the list, and now we've got only 4 spots left. So, unfortunately, and there's just other Christmas movies that I would like to see make the list that I have ranked higher personally than Home Alone 2, and also he's not home nor alone or lost. He knows exactly where he is. So, I mean, for the missed title alone, I'm gonna say it's a slight no though. 'Cause I still think it's a great movie, but so it could be a slight no.
But that it's background to me and yeah, I'm gonna bring up this one that I actually just watched for the first time last year. Even though it came out in 2020, it just took me a while to get to it. But it's Happiest Season. And this is such a great movie. Like and it's just one of those ones that I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did. But Kristen Stewart's great in it. Aubrey Plaza is equally as great in it, and it's just um and honestly, it's really good to see one of this ones like especially getting some representation in there from like other communities in there. And it's just what a feel good movie of you. Say what you want about Chris Stewart. I know people don't like the actress, but she's great in this, and yeah. But Chris, what do you say about Happiest Season?
I'm happy somebody put it up. I love this movie. I saw this when it first came out. Dan Levy is so good in this movie as her best friend and like the vice person. The scene where he gave me her the advice to the end. It's such a great moment in the movie, and Chicago is great. Kristen Stewart is fantastic. You haven't seen it, do check out. Really one of the more pleasant surprise Christmas movie in the last couple of years. Like she gets for me.
Kevin, what do you say about Happiest Season?
I can't say that I've ever seen Happiest Scenes, and so I'm gonna have to abstain.
Jacob, what do you say about Happiest Season?
I will say the exact same thing that Kevin said. Haven't seen it.
Ryan, what do you say about Happiest Season?
The Jacob and Kevin said, haven't seen it.
I've heard good things though. Like I do want to check it out. I've heard it's pretty decent, but
unfortunately, Happiest Season is not going to make the list. Chris, what do you say about what is the next movie you can bring up?
Should I go with the one that I love, but I know some people think it overrated?
Yes, go with that one.
I much would love to go with a recent one, and Derek Hogg and my saying with Home Alone 2 about having similar things to the same thing. I do go with the one that I quote every year, I rewatch every year. I walk in this year when they were replaying and see them. Elf. Is it annoying? Yes. But is it quotable? Yes. Is it funny? Yes. Is James Caan entertaining his dad? Yes. Very entertaining. Everybody getting in like good laugh after good laugh. Just feel good movie. Just like I don't know why I love it. Just it's what I like quoting and what made me feel good and be watching it. The ending just puts one on my face. So it might get shot down because I know some people here everywhere say overrated, but Elf.
Kevin, what do you say about Elf?
Elf. I enjoy this movie. Yeah, I mean there are great scenes. I mean, from the North Pole all the way to New York. The scenes with his dad. Yeah, I'll give this one a yes. Yeah.
Jacob, what do you say about Elf?
This is an interesting one because I'm sure had I been on that original episode, I would have given this a yes. Because I think the movie's I think the movie's good. But I think it's just over the years, I think it's just gotten a little overhyped. And maybe I just watched it too much growing up because it's been like 20 years now. And so maybe I'm just worn out on Elf. But you know what? I think it's good enough. I think there's some good humor. I think there's some. I still anytime someone says bye, I'll say bye. Hope you find your dad.
Thanks for Carl.
I'll still do that. And yeah, I think it's one of I think Will Ferrell did really good, and I think there's some touching moments in it. So don't be surprised if I vote for it pretty early when it comes to ranking, but I'll give it a yes.
But Brian, what do you say about Elf?
Yeah, I do enjoy Elf. Love the humor, love the stop motion aspect of the North Pole sequences. But I'm gonna give it a no. We only have 4 spots left, and probably talk about other movies more. So it's a slight no.
Yeah, if we were doing top 100, Elf isn't even in my top 100 Christmas movies of all time. I really don't like. You can call me a.
I'm a cotton-headed ninny muggins.
Watch your mouth.
All you want, but it's I gave this a rewatch of the week. Like it's one of those movies that I hate watch every year because sometimes I'm bored and just want something to watch, and it's always on a streaming service somewhere. But yeah, it's not one I'm ever. I don't think I'm ever going to like it. I'm probably going to still watch it a lot of times, but yeah. But with that, Elf is still going to make this list. And we go to Kevin for the next nomination.
I want to go ahead and get this one out there. I don't know what response it'll get. So I'm going to kind of steer towards fantasy. So I'm going to go with Gremlins from 1984. So the Mogwai, everybody knows kind of the rules to the Mogwai. So it's a Christmas present that comes with instructions that you strictly have to follow. Joe Dante does a great job of making this horror yet comedy. And Phoebe Cates is great. She tells a really sad Christmas story. I like watching this around Christmas time. And so I wanted to put it on the list.
Jacob, what do you say about Gremlins?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you, Kevin, for making my next choice easier because this was one of the ones I was thinking about bringing up because I absolutely love Gremlins. I think it would be nice to get some, Christmas horror represented, although, I mean, it's got a good bit of comedy as well. But man, when the Gremlins are terrifying, they're terrifying. I think there's a good balance of Christmas horror. I mean, comedy and horror here, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a breezy watch and one that I'll turn it on every Christmas season, and then you got to watch Gremlins 2 after that because that one's just as that one ramps up the bonkers to 100. So yeah, I'll give it a yes.
Brian, what do you say about Gremlins?
Yeah, summer also depends how we'll be very happy if this will make the list. But overall, I'll give it a yes. It's a great movie. Love the practical effects for the Gremlins, and some great humor there. So it's a yes.
Yeah, I mean, I like Gremlins. I do like Gremlins. But I've seen a lot of, when I was going through my Christmases, I was surprised about how much Christmas I've actually seen. So I've seen a lot, and I like a lot of them. I mean, hell, there's even some Hallmark Christmas movies I like a lot too. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a slight no. I mean, it's already made the list anyway. But yeah,
Your
Chris,
vote
what do you
still
say about?
matters.
I also would maybe give a slight no. I love this movie, but we down a free spot laughing this on when I get list. This is a fantastic movie. I kind of like the sequel a little bit better, but I love this movie and we watch it. There's no way but they'll cram me up to this day.
But if that Gremlins is going to make this list, and we go to Brian.
Oh,
Okay,
Jacob.
cool. That's
No,
fine.
Jacob.
Yeah. So we're like, what? We got two spaces left, and I think we gotta get one Santa Claus movie on there. So I'm gonna bring up the first, the Santa Claus. They say what you want, first, second. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them being your favorite of the trilogy. I also think the series is really good. Just want to shout that out real quick.
I agree.
But yeah, no, I really dig this first Santa Claus movie. I think Tim Allen does a really good job here. I really like the growth of his character as a dad, as he grows into this Santa Claus character, literally as well, grows into Santa Claus. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it really captures the magic of Christmas. It's one that I'll watch every year as well. Kind of watch the trilogy, despite how I feel about the third one. I still will watch all three of them. It's another staple, and yeah, I really like Tim Allen's take on Santa Claus, and yeah, I think there's a lot of fun moments here. I like the relationship that he builds with his son, because you see him starting off as kind of this not great father. He's spending his Christmas with his son in a Denny's, which isn't terrible, but I mean it could be worse. But yeah, just the relationship between them as it grows throughout the movie, I think is really cool. And then the relationship with the other set of parents. And yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, and shout out David Krumholtz.
Yeah, I mean, for a second, I thought when said you were going to bring up Santa Claus, I thought we were going to bring up Santa Claus conquers the Martians. But Brian, what do you say about the first Santa Claus?
Yeah, I do love the Santa Claus. I love this one. The second one, in case the other one doesn't bring up, I'll be happy if this one makes it. Anyways, yes, some great humor there. Love the transformation, how Scott becomes Santa Claus, especially the whole boardroom sequence where he eats all the food there. He gains all the weight. Shout out to Peter Boyle as well as his boss is great. So it's a yes.
Yeah, I quite like Santa Claus. I think it's really good. And yeah, this is still easily going to be a yes for me, because I think it's good. I actually do like all the ones in the series as well. But yeah, the TV series is great. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. What's his name is really good as the evil Santa Claus in the second season. I don't remember the guy.
Oh yeah, the guy from Modern Family. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Eric Stone.
Yeah, that's his last
Yeah.
name. I can remember the last name.
but yeah, Santa Claus is great, and yeah, it's an easy yes for me. Chris, what do you say about the Santa Claus?
Yeah, I don't love a movie where you want to become a Santa Claus, accidentally kill the previous Santa Claus, and then you become it. But yeah, I love this movie. It's a great classic Disney Christmas movie. I would have been good with either this or the second one. I've joined both of them a lot. But easy yes for me. Tim Allen is Santa Claus every day of the week, and it's hold a special place in my heart as a kid. So you hear yes for me.
And Kevin, what do you say about the first Santa Claus?
Yeah, absolutely. The Santa Claus is a great movie. You know, usually you have the child that is doubting, you know, that has doubts about the realization of Santa. But now it's flipped around on its head, and it creates a really fun story for the audience. So yeah, it starts off a great trilogy that, like Jacob said, kind of falls on its ass in the third one, but it's okay. I'll stick with all three and watch them all every season. So yes.
Take a drink every time there's a dead pause in the third one. You'll be drunk by the end of it.
Right. There you go.
But if that the Santa Claus is going to make the list. And Brian, we've got one spot left. Do you have the movie that's going to fill it up?
Oh,
Yeah, this is tough though. There's a bunch of good ones left, but I'll go with a Chris Carroll movie. I'll pick up Scrooge with Bill Murray. It's a great modern version of Chris Carroll with Bill Murray. Carol Kane is hands down perfect as Ghost Christmas present, and Ballcat Grocery is a great Paul Cratchit. So Scrooge.
This is tough. But no, I'm going to use the same logic I used with Home Alone 2. I mean, I really do like Scrooge. I think it's great, and I think Bill Murray is great as the Ebenezer Scrooge type character. But just because we do already have a version of a Christmas Carol on here, and there's at least one or two that I think should at least be on this list. I'm going to give Scrooge a slight no, but I'm not going to be upset if it makes the list. Chris, what do you say about Scrooge?
If someone had brought this up instead of Muppet Christmas Carol, I would say, yeah, I love this movie. I love John Murray as the brother. I think he's really good in the scene. I love Carol Kane as Christmas presidency. Her stuff is hysterical. I think it's great, but we only down to one spot, and the one more version of Christmas Carol would want to count more than this. A slight no, but it does make it, and I'd be okay.
Kevin, what do you say about Scrooge?
Yeah, I have to concur with Chris. I mean, if we didn't already have the Muppet Christmas Carol, then I would for sure want to have a Christmas Carol story. And Scrooge is one of my favorite holiday movies of the season. But with one slot left, I think I have a couple more ahead of it. So I'm going to wait and see what happens. So I'm going to say no.
Jacob, what do you say about Scrooge?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, and it's not because I don't like the movie. I do. I think it's great. I think Bill Murray gives a really good performance. But the fact that if this was brought up earlier when there were like only 2 or 3 on the list, I would have said yes, absolutely, because I think it's a good movie. I think it has some good humor. Yeah, like I said, Bill Murray, fantastic. But with one spot left, there's one there's one movie that I have in mind, and if it's not brought up, I'm just going to keep saying no. So no.
At least I shot my shot for that.
Yeah, good movie, great movie. Yeah, but
yeah, a lot of good English Carol movies.
But I'm for my next one. I'm probably not going to bring up the one I think Jacob was probably thinking of. But this is the one that's high up on my list that I really love. And I actually just rewatched this this series, these two movies for just recently in the past week. And I'm bringing up the first Christmas Chronicles movie. I think Kurt Russell is great as Santa Claus, and like even the small bit of Goldie Hawn as Mrs. Claus is great as well. And I really like they expanded and brought her in more for the sequel. But this is one that I'm probably going to watch every year. This is definitely becoming one of those Christmas staples for me. I think the Christmas Claus is great. I think say what you want about the elves and the way they look. I think they look adorable. I mean, they're not trying to murder you with chainsaws. But yeah. But Chris, what do you say about the Christmas Chronicles?
I think Kurt Russell is great. I don't like either of the movie. I think they are just like the problem I have in a lot of Netflix Christmas movies. I don't enjoy them. I just find them cringy, very not heartwarming. I think they have one great thing with him in the jail playing that whole song sequence, but no for me.
Kevin, what do you say about Christmas Chronicles?
Yeah, this is another one that I watch annually since it came out. Kurt Russell plays an excellent Santa Claus, and Goldie Hawn just supports that role. There are just too many good, good, I would say, scenes in this movie to say no to. So I'm gonna give it a yes.
Jacob, what do you say about the Christmas Chronicles?
I haven't seen it.
Brian, what do you say about the Christmas Chronicles?
In the words of people, how about no?
If that the Christmas Chronicles isn't going to make the list, Chris, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
I'd much ever love to bring up another Christmas story type movie. I do say that for my honorable mention. I do go with one that I watch every year with my family. I think it is by far Nicolas Cage, one of his best performances I think he can give in anything. The Family Man. I think it's a great movie. What if you to go back in time and live the alternate reality of when you get together and you have the family you want and not the back to life that you have at the moment. I think it's a heartwarming Christmas movie. I think there's a bunch of good laughs. I think it easily by Nicolas Cage best performance. I think you understand. And the scene alone when you don't know what happened next. You don't see them being at the airport, him telling that we had this kid, that we had this life I want with you, and you don't leave your interpretation how that conversation goes. I think it's perfectly in the movie. I think the daughter cute. I think Don Cheadle very funny as the guy that put him in that scenario. I think there's a bunch of good laughs. Is it cringy at times? Yes, but it really feel good. I mean, it's the family might get me vote.
Kevin, what do you say about the Family Man?
Family Man. I am not sure I have seen the Family Man. Oh, that's Nicolas Cage? Yeah. Oh, I've seen it. It's not one that really sticks out. It is a good story, but I just don't think it. I I'm not one that would put it as the last one on this list. Maybe if you would have brought it up earlier, I may have said yes, because I do remember it being a really touching story, but um, it's just one of those that I couldn't even remember which movie it was. So I'm gonna have to give it a no.
Jacob, what do you say about the Family Man?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen The Family Man. Just don't really remember much. I think it was like a one-time watch, and I just haven't gone back to it. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give it a no.
Brian, what do you say about the Family Man?
I do enjoy the Family Man. It's good Christmas Jason movie as well, but we already have Westball left, so I'll give it a no.
And yeah, I just haven't seen it. I was going to watch it this week when I saw that Matt Kearns was watching it, but I just didn't get around to it.
I wanted to bring up something different than what we usually bring up. So
but Kevin, what do you have?
I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna go a little different route, I guess. Well, a little different, a little the same. I know we have a Christmas Carol movie on there, but we don't have a musical. So are you there? Can you hear me? Everybody
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can
me?
hear you.
Okay, all right, just making sure. Sorry about that. I am going to go with White Christmas. That that movie is always a hit. Kind of, it's a good movie just to put on the background. It's a good movie, if you want to put something on to watch. It's Bing Cosby and Danny Kaye, along with others that, there's singing, dancing, along with a storyline. So I like that. The reason I said what I said earlier, I was actually going to go Spirited, but I changed my mind at the last second. I know. So I'm going to go White Christmas and stick with that.
Jacob, what do you say about White Christmas?
Yeah, Spirited would have been a no just because it was too recent, but I did really love it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
White Christmas is a little tougher because while it's not the movie that I have in my mind, it's hard to say no. So it's going to be a slight no, but it would be like number 13. But if it makes the list, I'm not going to be upset at all because I think it's a fantastic movie. I love the music here, and yeah, I think it'd be fun to get like a musical on here and also represent like classics. But because there's only one spot, like I just really want to bring this movie up. I'm going to give it a slight no, but again, if it makes the list, I'm not going to be upset.
Brian, what do you say about White Christmas?
Yeah, this is tough though. White Christmas is a classic, but we have a classic on there for which life on there already, and we have Westball left, so I'll give it a no.
But yeah, White Christmas is one of those movies that really hasn't aged well at all. And I know people would say, "Oh, you think then like White Christmas does have really stuff that hasn't aged well as at the same time." But that aside, I love White Christmas. Once again, it's it's not really one I go back to a lot. So it's also going to be a slight no for me as well, but it's definitely one that if it may go up on a rewatch though, because it's been ages since I've seen it. So yeah, but Jacob, you've been teasing us. Chris, what do you say about White Christmas?
I love White Christmas. It had Kevin Bob. The other one might be a little bit different here, but I had to say no. We had one spot left because Spirited was the film I ever did bring up, and I didn't bring up
Family. But Jacob, you've been teasing us. What is the movie you want to bring up?
Yeah, and it might not be that big of a surprise to anyone, knowing that I love animation and I love Tim Burton. And while he didn't direct the movie, it is his story, and that's Nightmare Before Christmas. a fun movie for both the Halloween and the Christmas season. You know, you got Jack Skellington here trying to, you know, give the citizens of Halloween, you know, a version of Christmas, and I think it's a lot of fun. I love the characters here. I love the music, and just, you know, some of the ways he tries to take Christmas. I just think it's really good. It's a lot of fun. I think, yeah, some of the songs in here are really catchy. I think it's got a good voice cast, and yeah, I love this movie. Not only is it just one of my favorite Christmas movies, it's just one of my favorite movies. Period. And part of me is regretting not bringing it up earlier because I think it would have had a better chance, but we'll see how it goes.
Brian, what you say about The Nightmare Before Christmas?
This is very tough for me. Love the movie, great music, great stop motion, but there's one small laugh, so I'll give it a slight no.
Yeah, this is tough as I do love it, but yeah, just because it's in the vicinity of where like I was going to be saying, like the list of movies I would have said yes to anyway. I'm gonna give Nightmare Before Christmas a yes. Like I like it enough. I think it's great. Chris, what do you say about The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Jacob, you're stealing my heart right now. I love this movie to death. I do. We watched it this year in cinema and got to see it in cinema and this year. Do you leave out to Kevin? Do you give a slight no? But I would be upset if, like, yeah, this is tough.
Kevin, what do you say about The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Thanks, Chris. All right. I mean, I've heard this movie, you know, thrown around. Is it a Halloween movie? Is it a Christmas movie?
Yes.
It's both.
In my mind, it agreed. It is both. And you know, with the Santa Claus or Sandy Claus, I mean, it just, there's enough Christmas, like that is incorporated into this movie. Not to mention the Danny Elfman score, like you said, the Tim Burton direction or production. So this to me, I'm gonna give it a yes.
That Night Before Christmas is going to make the list, and that's going to close out the list. But just to recap what we have on the list, we have Klaus, Christmas Vacation, Die Hard, Home Alone, Love Actually, It's a Wonderful Life, After Christmas, Mother Christmas Carol, Elf, Gremlins, The Santa Claus, and Night Before Christmas. Brian, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I have a few. I had the second Santa Claus film. I had Jingle All the Way, The Holiday. Even though it's recent, the holdovers I had on my list. Noel,
On your list too.
Muppets Family Christmas, even though it didn't count for the list. Mickey's Restaurant Christmas. 2000's The Grinch. Bad Santa. It's a guilty pleasure, but Christmas with Cranks I go to. All I Want for Christmas. Eight Queen's Lights. Like before. Office Christmas Party, A Bad Boss Christmas, Santa Claus 3, Ernest's Christmas. You know, I count for Christmas for the opening part, the Addams Family, Just Friends, Guardians Holiday Special, A Christmas Story Christmas, and a very Harold Kumar Christmas.
But yeah, I know JPO's upset with me about Christmas the Cranks for a different reason. But yeah, for me, I had both versions of Little Women because I did see the '94 version recently as well. I still think the Greta Gerwig one is slightly better, but yeah. I had A Christmas Gift from Bob, which is the sequel to The Streetcar Named Bob, which is about the cat and all that. But I didn't think anyone had seen it, so I didn't bring it up. Anna and the Apocalypse, I think it's great. Also watched British movie series called Nativity. And the bunch of sequels, like one of them has David Tennant in it. The original one has Martin Freeman. And the one I was alluding to, like Miracle on 34th Street. I actually like. I'm one of those people that really like the remake with Richard Attenborough a lot. But I do think they're both good movies. And Miracle on 34th Street is the one I was alluding to that I was saying like that is the one that people consider a Christmas movie, and that was released in July. So people, I always do that when people try to argue about Die Hard's release. So it's like, well, Miracle on 34th Street was released in July, so that's not a Christmas movie. And Shazam, and I actually just watched the Princess Switch movies on Netflix recently as well. But I really like those movies. I'm not gonna lie. But Chris, what are some honorable mentions that you have?
Spirited, because we may mention it before. Energy Apocalypse, 31st Street. How to Grinch Stole Christmas, a movie that I think not a lot of people seen on HBO Max. 8-Bit Christmas for Neil Patrick Harris. I thought a really touching movie, especially with the father-son relationship. Dandy got to me a lot when watching it. And yeah, Little Women, like to go on. There are a bunch of great Christmas movies that we to go on Jingle Dangle, but not a lot of people seen it really like with British Cat and Jingle Michael K. A very sweet Christmas movie on Netflix. Yeah, there are a lot.
Kevin, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
Yeah, I actually thought Jacob was going to go this route when he mentioned Danny Elfman. I mean, excuse me, Tim Burton, Edward Scissorhands. I had Babes in Toyland, Meet Me in St. Louis, Holiday Inn, You've Got Mail, Batman Returns, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
And Jacob, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
Yeah, if Nightmare didn't get it, I would have tried for Edward Scissorhands. That would have been my next Tim Burton choice. That and Batman Returns. I think as like a Christmas adjacent. I think both work the Christmas setting in real nicely. The Holiday, I think, is really good. And say what you want about the animation, I think the Polar Express is pretty decent as well. And then yeah, just another sort of Christmas adjacent, The Apartment.
Oh, God.
Which one?
The
Apartment.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jacob, you only bring up something that I'm now kicking myself for not bringing up.
Well, it's more Christmas adjacent than anything. I don't think Christmas plays a big part into the plot, but
yeah, I mean it's one of those ones I've seen for the first time this year, and yeah. But before we go into the voting, I'm going to go to the last clip from the previous episode I had of another honorable mention that didn't actually get brought up in this message, but yeah.
That is, of course, Lethal Weapon. This is a Christmas movie, people. Here's why. It takes place during the week of Christmas. The final fight takes place on Christmas Eve. They have Christmas Eve together, and they exchange gifts with one another. And it is also about the human spirit. It's about being reborn, just like Jesus was born in a manger. Now, I'm not saying Mel Gibson's Jesus, but he likes to think he is. So he also made a movie about Jesus.
I also would bring up quickly on Silent Night and Krampus. I do enjoy.
But with that, it's time to get to the voting. And for me at 12, Elf can just Elf right off. Chris, what do you have for number 12?
Vacation.
Kevin.
Oh, sorry. I can you skip me? I haven't.
I'll
sorry,
come back
I was
around.
right. Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Jacob.
I have Arthur Christmas.
Brian.
So, but with I don't really the movie that much, so Love Actually.
Kevin, you ready there?
Yeah, I'll go Arthur Christmas.
After Christmas is going to be at 12. But Chris, what do you have for 11?
Vacation.
Kevin.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Muppets Christmas Carol.
Jacob.
Love Actually.
Ryan.
Love Actually.
Elf can just elf right off, but Love Actually is good.
Love Actually's off. All right.
Jacob, what do you have for 10?
Christmas Vacation.
Brian.
Elf.
Elf can just elf right off. Chris.
Vacation.
Kevin.
Christmas Vacation.
Not gonna lie, this is one I'm surprised end up as low as it did. Brian, what do you have for 9?
With Elf.
Elf can still just elf right off. Chris.
Home Alone.
Kevin.
Let's go. Arthur Christmas? Did we already vote that off?
Yeah.
No.
That's at 12.
It's off. All right. I'm gonna go with. Sorry.
You can just say it if you want.
Yeah, let's skip me. I'll pick something.
Jacob, what do you have for 9?
Part of me didn't want to vote for this just so you could keep repeating yourself, Malcolm, but I'm gonna go Elf as well.
But Kevin, what it's going to be Elf anyway.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go Elf as well.
Yeah.
Now it gets tough.
All right.
I didn't change my vote here.
All right. I know what I want to do.
Brian, what do you have for 8?
Klaus.
I'm going Home Alone. Chris.
Ooh.
Nightmare Before Christmas. I think you meant it both, but I think
Kevin.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
And Jacob.
I had Die Hard.
It's going to be Night Before Christmas.
Watch a long nightmare. That whole.
Hey, I'm just glad it made the list.
I hear you.
But I'm sticking with Home Alone. Chris.
Home Alone.
Kevin.
Let's go with Die Hard.
Jacob.
Die Hard.
Ryan.
Klaus.
So we've got 2 votes to Die Hard, 2 votes to Home Alone. Ryan.
Die Hard.
Well, you're going to be the tiebreaker anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So, and honestly, I don't think you're going to put Home Alone below Die Hard anyway. Chris,
Can you tell me which ones are off? I'm sorry.
So the movies we still have on the table, we've got Klaus, Home Alone, It's a Wonderful Life, The Muppets Christmas Carol, Gremlins, and The Santa Claus. Chris, what do you have for 6?
Come on.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. Muppets Christmas Carol.
Jacob.
Home Alone.
Brian.
Klaus.
Yeah,
Home
not many
Alone.
do Right. You know what? Yeah. Did last long as it.
Love this top 5.
1, 2, 3. So we have Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, Gremlins, Muppets Christmas Carol, It's a Wonderful Life, and Klaus.
Okay, gotcha.
Very solid top 5.
Let's go.
Jacob, what do you have for number 5?
Go Klaus.
Brian.
Klaus.
Gremlins. Chris.
Gremlin.
Kevin.
Klaus.
Oh. Yeah. That should be a little bit higher. There you go, my number 2.
It was actually my number 1. It's actually my number 1, but I'm Brian.
Goes to Jason, It's a Wonderful Life.
Gremlins. Chris.
Gremlin.
Kevin.
Gremlins.
And Jacob.
Gremlins.
Oh.
All top 3 here.
Yep.
I'm at my top 3, but different.
I'm going the Santa Claus. Chris.
The Santa Claus.
Kevin.
Santa Claus.
Jacob.
I had It's a Wonderful Life.
And Brian.
I concur.
But it is going to be the Santa Claus. And
right,
this one we're
number 1.
Going straight to number 1. It's between It's a Wonderful Life and the Muppets Christmas Carol.
I love them Muppets is top 2. Love it.
Late my number 1 made it. At least.
It's going to be interesting to see where people go, because at least 2 people are going to go, but I'm going to start off with Chris.
Yeah, it should be Cloud, but if not, it should be A Wonderful Life.
Kevin.
Oh, his vote doesn't count anymore. Shoot. He's got It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see me or hear me, but It's a Wonderful Life.
We can see it. We can see it. Jacob.
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Brian.
The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Which means it's down to me, and it's going to be the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Hey.
That's my number 3.
Muppets Christmas Carol, got it?
Wonderful Life, Klaus, and then Muppets Christmas Carol.
It's close though. It's close between the top three for me.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, any day of the week, those could be top three for sure.
While he's typing those out, an honorable mention I forgot was the 1974 Black Christmas.
Yeah.
Also for me.
Oh, good call. Dang it. When we got one horror
if Gremlins
film
didn't
on
make the
there,
list,
I
I would
kind of
have.
like.
If Gremlins
Me
didn't make
too.
the list,
Yeah. I was trying to hit like all the genres.
Right.
Almost every Christmas version been good except for that Netflix animated one.
Yeah, I will say, if the panel had on the original one, Black Christmas came out, and at least a few of the panels we just didn't said hardly no's to it because it's. But with that, before I go into what the top 12 for this edition of the Christmas movie list is, I'm going to recap the original one once again. So the original list at 12 we had Lethal Weapon. At Die Hard we had 11 at Die Hard. We had Die Hard at 11. I don't know where my words are going. At 10 we had White Christmas. At 9 we had Love Actually. At 8 we had Elf. At 7 we had Miracle on 34th Street. At 6 we had The First Home Alone. At 5 we had A Christmas Story. At 4 we had The Santa Claus. At 3 we had The Grinch. At 2 we had A Christmas Vacation. At number 1 we had It's a Wonderful Life. But for this edition of the list, at 12 we had After Christmas. At 11, dropping down a couple of spots from the previous one, we had Love Actually. Dropping all the way from number 2 to number 10, we had Christmas Vacation. At 9, we had Elf. At 8, we had The Nightmare Before Christmas. At 7, we had Die Hard. At 6, we had Home Alone, which, funnily enough, is the exact same spot it was in the previous list. At 5, we had Klaus. At 4, we had Gremlins. At 3, we had The Santa Claus. At 2, we had It's a Wonderful Life. And number 1 is The Muppets Christmas Carol. But it just goes to show you get a different panel on different things happen. Maybe in a few years when more Christmas movies get released and whatnot, we may revisit this again. Provided I'm still alive in a couple of years, I hope so. But
whoa.
We hope so too, Malcolm.
But with that being said, this is the last episode of Rankin for the year. We'll be back in, I believe I said January the 6th on the post with top 12 movies of 2023. But Chris, where you can build for you online.
You find me here in the animated. You find me tomorrow for the free fall of our Jonah Anderson channel. It'll be a lot of fun. And I'm working on my top 12 at the moment. And yeah, you see my letterbox. I have my review of the manga and Waitress. Remote reasons of it.
Kevin, where can people find you online?
I will also be participating in the free for all on Jordan Anderson's channel tomorrow. But otherwise, you can find me on TMG Trivia. Like, subscribe, do all the things on YouTube and Facebook, please. If you would like to participate in a match, just send me a message and we'll get that set up however necessary. But hit me up on Letterboxd and I'll follow you back. Otherwise, have yourself a Merry Christmas.
Jacob, where can people find you online?
We have to say Happy Holidays, Kevin. It's more inclusive. Yeah, no, I will also, much like I think everybody on this panel actually, will be participating in the free-for-all tomorrow. I'm quite pleased with the number that I got, so hopefully that does me well. But yeah, other than that, don't really have much going on. Lonely Marks and a podcast about movies over on the Movie Hero Network will return in January. So until then, I just don't really have much going on.
Brian, we can be for you online.
Same here. I'll be part of the free fall tomorrow. Got an early number. I think I'm in the rest of Kevin, I think, for that section. Pierce Code, doing tribute there. I appear on the Movie Network. I'll be in the tournament for January, I believe. And also Lifestyle Trivia I competed.
And yeah, you can find me on Tape Productions, hosting Rankin every Sunday. It's usually every Sunday. I won't be in the free fall tomorrow, unfortunately, due to my work schedule and time zones and daylight savings and all that. It's just too late for me. But you can find me popping up from time to time on the Movie Hero Network. Anyway, I believe I'm going to be a part of on the 2005 Ladder Series. I think that is the next one I'm going to be in.
Same.
But yeah, but until next time, just remember have a
Merry New Year!